Hi everyone, Morten Ostad here. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is an entry into Chris from Rekkid Talk's challenge, where he celebrates his 4 years in the vinyl community. Chris is the master of the 5-minute video, and I enjoy his videos a lot because he travels around finding bargains and records and lots of 7-inch singles, which I don't really collect as such, but I do sort of collect the 7 inches in a way of bands that that are really quite special to me. Artists, like Paul McCartney, Iron Maiden, Super Furry Animals, The Smiths, Depeche Mode, and so on. In excess tends to be where I've more or less completed my studio album and maybe vinyl records, and I've got a lot of their records on both CDs and on vinyl, and then I feel a need to sort of keep up some sort of collecting of those bands, and then I start maybe collecting a few 7-inch singles. Not 12 inches, not yet anyway, Brian. So he set up 7 tasks for us, some of which I'm pretty sure I can do, and some of which I thought were maybe difficult, or some interpretation might be needed, at least for me. So we start off with Cool Sleeve. I thought I would show... I always have to show something Welsh, don't I? This is, of course, as you can see, Super Furry Animals. And it's pretty cool sleeve, I thought. The record is inside here. It's a very regular 7-inch, but the sleeve, however, is a bit more than that. It is a poster, which is quite big, so bear with me. As you can see, there's the one side, which also sort of contains the single information and what is, I guess, the front of the single. And then on the other side, we have this. Here we go. The Super Furry Animals tank, the Welsh Super Furry Animals tank. So if Brewdog thought they were original when they had a Brewdog tank, think again. All right. So I think the second one was Cool Company sleeves. Now I don't really have a lot of them because unless it's for completion purposes, I kind of avoid them. And here in Europe, it seems picture sleeves were more normal than maybe across in the UK for a while. I know some of the very early, for example, Paul McCartney's I have, they tend to be French or German or Dutch because they had picture sleeves, while the UK ones had had those black ones that had a green apple writing on it and then a hole for the single. So, but I don't know, Chris, does this qualify? I think this one is pretty cool. So this is In Excess. I send a message, and if we do this, remove this, we have a company sleeve, I guess, right? With various Warner, Atlantic, Reprise, Elektra, Asylum, and for some reason Pioneer. So that was me attempting to fulfill the second part of this. Number 3, Small Hole. I have lots and lots of those. Again, they seem to be more of the norm here, at least with some of the record companies here in Europe. For example, nearly all my Smiths rough trade singles have small holes. While, for example, my some Depeche Mode from have and some don't. Again, it seems to depend on where they come from. So I thought I'd show a French one. Indochin. C'est ta canary bay. Ooh, ooh. This was a single that I bought. Oh, it must have been 1985. Do I have any of their studio albums? Wow. Anyway, it was a period where I thought I would learn French and stuff. I went to high school and I chose French over German, which I shouldn't have done. I would probably have gotten a good high school diploma in German. Instead, I got a fail in French, because all he did was go on and on about grammar for 3 years without learning us anything to say with that grammar. That's what I felt anyway. So there you can see, there's a small hole. And the B-side is Le Train Sauvage. Le Train Sauvage. Yeah, there we go. The next one is show something that isn't black. Now, Chris showed these colored 7-inch vinyls, which were color-coded after the type of music and maybe even type of artist back in the way back in the day. I don't know if that was a thing here in Europe. Even if it was, I wouldn't have had any of those because, I have a 7-inch that I'm going to show, which is fairly old. It's over 60 years old. But again, I had never actually heard of that before he told this. But I have a couple of things here that are not black. We have a Depeche Mode. This is one of the few Depeche Mode singles that I have on vinyl, which are from after they actually stopped making 7-inch vinyl singles and only had CD singles and even single cassettes for a while, and then they sort of popped up here and there, with picture discs and so on. And lately, their so-called single releases haven't had any physical releases at all. So that's why my Depeche Mode, 7-inch collection is as complete almost as it can be. Because, yeah. Anyway, it's red. So that's not black, although that's black. And also it's transparent, so I thought, were they not supposed to be transparent in this question? And so I just thought I'd show you one more, just for the hell of it. And it's this one from Crowded House. So this is Not the Girl You Think You Are, 1996. Yeah, this was one of the last 2 songs they recorded before splitting up. These were recordings that were supposed to have become their 5th album, but they ended up on Recurring Dream, the very best of Crowded House. And let's see here. Was Paul Hester on this one, or did they record this without him? Let's see. And as you can see, it is white and solid. You're not the girl you think you are. Oh, I love Crowded House. See, Chris made it possible for me to show some Crowded House, so I'm very pleased with that. The next one I struggled with. I gone through. I have all these, and I have all these, and I have some up there, and I have some there. That's my 7-inch collection, and I couldn't really find any, but parallel lines, and apparently that's a fairly common thing. It didn't seem to be a common thing in my collection. So the only thing I could find is a few of these. This is Sinead O'Connor's. Sinead O'Connor, but nothing compares to you. And yeah, it's one of those, those fill-ins. And it's got some lines on it. So maybe that qualifies, or maybe there are too many lines. There's too many lines on that. You're doing it wrong, so. Oh, look, it's got the old alarm sticker with a paid sticker on top there, signifying that I bought this in Norway once upon a time. 1990. And the next one was show a cool artwork on the label. There's Iron Maiden. This is a reissue of Running Free, their debut 7-inch. And it, in my opinion, has a cool art on the... sticky fingers. Here we are. I think that's pretty cool. Eddie the Head, the earliest incarnation. Last one, I don't think I'll get that right, but it's bought cheap, valuable. Was it valuable to me? Was it bought cheap? This is valuable to me because it's all I got left of the studio album on vinyl, which has disappeared, but this came with the studio album. This is American Tracks by the Norwegian hard rock band TNT. And unfortunately, someone at some stage stole my vinyl of this, so I only have this one on CD. There, the proper album was it Knights of the... I don't remember. So limited edition 3000. I don't know if this is of any value as such, but it's something that's valuable to me. Then there was... when I was hunting for Paul McCartney 7-inches, I found, I think it was these two really, really cheap. And these were the 2 of the 3 singles released from Flaming Pie. And as you can see, they are picture discs as well. And the last one, I kept finding it was either 4 or 5 times more expensive than these two put together, or the sleeve around it was missing. So when I finally stumbled across this, I don't know how I bought this. This is like 4 or 5 years ago now, 6 years maybe. It was a very nice price. It was a little more expensive than the 2 others had been, but the sleeve was there, and it completed my collection of these 3. So I think this was the one that I kept looking for. This is a beautiful night. So for me, these 3 are special and valuable in a sense to me. But I also thought I'd show this weird thing. I don't know where else I would show it. This is the oldest record I own, and I think also the oldest one I've ever been in possession of. I think my grandmother gave this to me when I was 4 or 5 years old. I don't remember the circumstances and why on earth she owned this. This record came out in 1960. I mean, at that time, my grandmother would have been a 55-year-old woman, housewife, married to a strict Jehovah's Witness. She herself was not one. And of course, my dad had long since moved out, probably around 1946, 47. And I don't know why she would be in possession of this, but she said, I remember something about Robert Williams. Zing met de Millers ab de molenaar met medwerking van Freddie Johnson. So this is a Dutch thing. And she said, and I don't know how or why, but she was very excited about this when she showed and gave me this. Good luck. That it was signed by this person, Robert Williams. And of course the vinyl. Now I haven't even dared played it for years. The cover is in really bad nick. It's mostly my fault probably because it's not been stored in the best way. But I Love You Baby, Robert Williams, Zang. There you go. So like I said, it's from 1960. So that, of course, makes it about 65 years old. So this is the oldest record I have in my possession. The next one would be my original of the Rolling Stones' first album and the Rolling Stones #2. So yeah, that's what I had to show you. And congratulations with the 4 years, Chris. And please, if you stumble across my video and don't already subscribe to his channel, please head on over. I'll leave links and everything. And maybe I'll even mention a couple of the other guys who did this challenge, or yeah, let's call it challenge. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon in another video. Bye-bye.